Brown was the first African American woman in Colorado. Born a slave and later freed, she was a pioneer and led former slaves to better lives. During the gold rush in Colorado, she built her own businesses and later invested in real estate. She turned away luxuries from herself and was generous throughout her life. This is a story of triumph and overcoming that needs to be continuously retold.
I was about to go out to a place called Central City, Colorado, and sing at the Central City Opera House the role of a woman named Clara Brown, who was born enslaved and became one of the wealthiest women in Colorado. John Moriarty was the general director emeritus. He wanted this particular opera about this particular woman.
The reason we specifically chose Clara Brown out of all of the possible women that have made substantial impacts in the state of Colorado was because she had a direct impact on the city of Central City.
John Moriarty came to me backstage and said, there's a wonderful woman, her name is Clara Brown, and he said, do you know her? And I was like, no. He said, well, there is talk about commissioning an opera about her. So fast forward 2 years and he came to New York and he I auditioned for the job and I got it.
Oh, Gabriel from realms above, descend on beams divine, enfold me in thy wings of love, and bless this heart of mine.
There are very few records of Clara's early life. We have some census records that indicate more or less where she was born, and her travels from Virginia, where she was probably born, to Kentucky later. She mostly was listed without a last name. She assimilated the last name of her owners, first Smith and then Brown, which is the name she later became known by.
She was owned by these people. Does a person just become okay with that because that's just the way it is? Or, what happens to the soul of a person really inside? What were some of her contemplations?
Show me things too dim to see, happiness of the mystery of why one lives and why one dies.
She was allowed to marry, and that's the word. She would have had to have been allowed by her owners. And she did raise a family. She had 4 children, a son and 3 daughters. The son was later sold into slavery in the Deep South, and that was virtually a death sentence in those periods. They would have been worked on the plantations literally to death, and she never really heard from him again. Another daughter, Margaret, was sold to a merchant in a nearby town. She had a pair of twin daughters, Paulina and Eliza Jane. And Paulina died early, probably at the age of about 8, in a drowning. And then Eliza Jane was also sold to another family. Aunt Clara was able to stay in touch with her for a number of years, but sometime in the late 1840s, maybe 1850s, she lost touch with her as well, probably because the family moved and felt no compunction at all why they would need to notify her mother.
I can't recall I got sold again right soon.
Slaves were denied the basic human right of remaining with their immediate family.
A slave for love.